I'm Pop.
I'm Todd.
And we are
Pop
and
and
Todd
Todd
Games. And today we're going to be talking about our top 10 favorite board games. To get us started, Isaiah, why don't you tell us what your number 10 is?
My number 10 is Star Wars The Clone Wars. I like this game because I like the miniatures and I like the variety of villains and characters, and I like the villain artwork, and I like that it's a cooperative game. It's my favorite cooperative game we have, and if you like cooperative games a lot, I would recommend this.
That's a good choice, Isaiah. I love playing this one. I love the theme, the Star Wars theme. It definitely immerses you in the theme. And the variety of the villains and heroes really helps. It feels like it's a complete game with a mini expansion included. So, yeah, good pick, Isaiah. All right, for my number 10, Wingspan. And this is the nesting box, the big box that holds all the expansions and future expansions. I really enjoy this tableau builder. I love the theme of birds, building out your bird aviary in different habitats. The variety of birds that are found in the game. Every card is unique, which I really find fascinating. They took the time to invest that way, and there's a bunch of expansions for it. Obviously, my favorite one is Oceania, which adds the wild resource nectar, which to me really makes the game from a good game to a great game. So I just love the ability to play birds easily with that wild resource, and there's also majority bonuses that you get for each habitat with the nectar at the end, which I also enjoy. So wonderful game, wonderful theme, amazing artwork, amazing components. Can't say enough about this game, Wingspan. All right, Isaiah, what's your number 9?
My number 9 is My Little Everdell. I like this game because I like the challenge of it's a race trying to get the most points at the time, and sometimes you can lose the game if you don't hit the right resources, and I like that style. It's a fun competitive game.
Good strategy.
And I like the strategy, and I like the artwork a lot too.
Yeah, and to me, this is a great game. I enjoy playing it. It's good for families. It just takes the base Everdell rules and just kind of streamlines them. So highly recommended. Obviously, the same beautiful artwork found in the original Everdell game as well. So yeah, great pick, Isaiah. All right, and for my number 9. Raiders of the North Sea. And this is a special edition box here that includes all the expansions in it. So it's a little different than the standard box, just like Wingspan. But I just enjoy this game. The whole premise is it's worker placement. Play a worker and you pick up another worker. So you get 2 actions every turn, which I love. Being able to get those 2 actions, and then just the puzzle of which worker to pick up, which worker to put down, and you can only put down, where there's not an existing worker. So it's really fun theme, Viking theme. It's just a great experience every time you play it. But I do once again recommend this with at least the Hall of Heroes expansion. I find the expansion makes the game better. So it goes from a good game to a great game when you add the Hall of Heroes, and then the Fields of Fame expansion also adds a lot as well. So at least one expansion would be the caveat for me, Halls of Hero. And that is my number 9. What do you have for your number 8, Isaiah?
My number 8 is Stone Spine Architects. I like this game that you build a dungeon because I like how it's themed, where these
University students?
University students that are like calf and bulls and stuff are building a dungeon, and there's monsters. And I like the pathway theme where you make a path. And I would recommend this game if you like the dungeon building games.
Yeah, and I think if you like puzzles, I think you would like this game because there's a puzzle with these blueprints. Everyone gets a blueprint at the beginning, and you have to match certain criterias that are listed on your blueprint. And for each criteria you match, you get points. And so there's a neat little puzzle there. There's a symbology puzzle, a little bit of a spatial puzzle with the paths and where the paths are going, and you want the paths to connect from the entrance to the exit. So yeah, I really enjoy this one too. And it plays fast. It plays up to 5 players, and then there's drafting involved, so the turns go really fast. So yeah, that's a great pick, Isaiah. Thank you. All right, for my number 8. This is another Stonemaier game title, one of the newer ones called Apiary. Apiary is a game about bees colonizing space. Obviously, super intelligent bees that colonize space. So, sci-fi theme. I really enjoy this one. This is another great engine builder, and just really enjoy the theme, the artwork. Kwanchai Moria is the artist and new designer as well, Connie Vogelman. And I just really enjoy just the puzzle of maximizing your points, and you're basically, it's worker bumping. So someone else has a worker in a spot, then you can bump them, but when you bump them, they get stronger. So there's different levels of workers. The levels get stronger as they're bumped. And then eventually they have to hibernate once they get to the highest level, which I find fascinating. And then you get to get a special ability and you go on the scoring track. So it's just a really fun puzzle of maximizing your points. Also, really cool miniatures. These worker bees are awesome. And they have 1, 2, 3, and 4 on them. And you can rotate them when they get bumped. So yeah, just a great game, beautiful artwork. Fun experience, and very approachable, fairly easy to teach to 1 to 5 players, 60, 90 minutes. So that is my pick. All right, Isaiah, what's your next pick?
My number 7 is Marvel Smash Up. I like this game because I like the artwork a lot, and I like how that it's superhero themed. Because I like superheroes, and I like that there's and certain box is big. So like if they come out with expansions, they can fit them in easily.
Yeah, and you just basically pick 2 different factions and you shuffle them together. It's like called a shuffle building game, and it's just interesting the combinations that you can have. And you can actually mix this one with the original Smash Up, so you could actually play dinosaurs with Avengers. So it's got a neat little shuffle building mechanism where you just combine 2 things and then they're all different. And yeah, I totally agree. I played the original Smash Up a lot over the years, and this is definitely my favorite version as well, just because I like Marvel. So great pick, Isaiah. All right, so for my number 7. We are sticking with the superhero theme, Isaiah. So my number 7 is Marvel Champions. This is a incredible game that can be played solo as well, 1 to 4 players, where you are basically taking a hero and you're fighting against a villain and all of their cohorts in a different scenario that villain has, and you're just trying to knock out that villain before he knocks you out, or before he completes his scheme. So it's a balance between taking care of the villain's scheme as well as doing damage to the villain along the way. And because the only way to win is to actually defeat the villain itself. But you're having to balance the threat that the villain is putting on their schemes, as well as the villain's attacking you, and they're using other cards to attack you. And so you want to make sure you don't get knocked out along the way, because if you get knocked out, then you lose the game. If all players in a multiplayer game get knocked out, then you lose the game. So that is Marvel Champions, and I love the combinations of heroes they've come out with. They've come out with so much stuff for it. I have a lot packed in this box already, but then I have some other small boxes upstairs. This one's filled up to the brim with what I have here, so you can see it's pretty full. And then I have other boxes as well. So love the variety though in the heroes. Right now, Wolverine is my favorite of all the heroes in the game, and that is my pick. What's your next pick, Isaiah?
My number 6 is Jaipur. I like this old time game because I like how you sell things, and I like the artwork, and I like the gold and diamonds. It's It's really realistic that the gold and diamonds and silver are worth the most because they really are.
Yeah, it's fun because there's always that choice. Do I take a card or do I sell my cards? Because if I take a card, then it gets replaced immediately, and that card might be a diamond, a gold, or a silver, which my opponent might take. And so there's always this balance. Should I hold on and try to get more of a particular type? Because what you're doing is you're collecting sets of cards of each type, and then the longer you wait to collect those sets, you get incentivized with bonus tiles, bonus scoring. So there's a balance between how long do I hold on, but then you can only hold 7 cards in your hand, so you can only do that for so long anyway. Great choice, Isaiah. Yeah, this one we've played many, many times. All right, for my next pick, this is another big box version of the game. Everdell, the complete collection is what I have. This box that stores all the expansions in it. What can I say about Everdell? There's a lot for this game. I actually do not have all the expansions, but I have most of the expansions. I just enjoy the theme. I enjoy the artwork, the components. I like the worker placement. You're putting a worker out, taking the action, and then you are basically building these cards which represent various buildings or critters that are in your town. So you're building out your town of 15 cards, and you're trying to get the most points from that town that you're building, and also maximizing your turns so that you're able to be efficient with your actions. And so it's always a neat puzzle to figure out, and then other cards will work well. They'll synergize with different cards. So if you have a particular building, then that critter can come for free one time, and so there's just a lot of neat comboing in the game, where you can make little combos of different cards together. So I just really enjoy this game. And my favorite expansion for it is New Leaf. I think that New Leaf adds the most to the game. That helps kind of balance it out from the base game. There's some things that I didn't like about the base game, just a few nitpicks about it. But I feel like New Leaf kind of fixed all that. So Everdell, base game, New Leaf, you're good. But Belfair is another really good one, and there's lots of other expansions to explore as well. All right, Isaiah, what do you have next?
My number 5 is King of Tokyo. This is a fun fighting game because I like the artwork a lot, and I like the components. And it also comes with other expansions, like more of these. These are your characters. We bought this one separate. He's Cybertooth. He can transform, so he can be 2. Because there are some other players. And then this one is a promo. So he starts as this, which is biped mode. Then this is beast mode.
Yeah, he's like a transformer.
I like this game a lot because it's a fun fighting game, and I think the gingerbread guy is funny because he looks mad.
Yeah, it's like a Yahtzee style game. You roll your dice 3 times, and then you take the result. of the rolls. You can either deal damage or you can go for straight points. It's really very fun, and we have a power-up expansion as well that lets you, beef up your monster, make them even tougher. So yeah, very cool game, Isaiah. Yeah, we played this more times than I can count by now. That's a great choice. So yeah, all right. Moving on to my number 5. My number 5 is Russian Railroads. So Russian Railroads is a worker placement game, common theme here in my top 10 it seems, where you are building out different railroads. You're building the track, laying down track, and then advancing on those tracks, advancing your trains on those tracks. And you're just basically scoring lots and lots and lots of points. It is the highest scoring board game I've ever played. I think my high score is over 400 points. So it's a very, very high scoring game. There's lots of neat combos. You have these engineers that'll help you, do things separately from these worker placement spots that are on the board that only you can use, and I really enjoy that. I enjoy the number of ways there are to score points. It's also very tight, so there's a lot of blocking. Your opponent may go to a place where you want to go to, and you just literally can't do that thing for this round. You have to wait till the next round, and then there's a vying for the first player. And there's actually a spot where you just take the first player, space so that you can go first the next round. So it's a very tight worker placement game, very fun. Lots of ways to score points. Very satisfying. So that's my next pick. Number 5, Russian Railroads.
My number 5 is Ticket to Ride United Kingdom in Pennsylvania. And I call it Pennsylvania because it's on the box. We don't just do United Kingdom. I like this Ticket to Ride game because I like the technologies. And through the track, if you get 10 cards, you get 40 points. But you need 2 things, 2 technologies. I like the strategy in this game. It's a very fun Ticket to Ride. If you it's pretty complex, but if you like complex Ticket to Rides that are very different, this is a good game.
Yeah, so instead of being able to do a lot of things from the get-go, you can only move a little bit at the beginning. Maybe lay down a track of 2 spaces, but when you get this technology, it allows you to move further and further, and you can do more things. And so it's definitely not as simple, the rule set, as this base Ticket to Ride, but it offers a lot of unique gameplay and these technologies that you can get. And so there's different strategies. You might want to focus on this type of strategy, this technology or this technology, and you have to spin cards to get technologies, and so you're like, how many of these should I get? So it's very fun, very unique Ticket to Ride. It's definitely, of all the Ticket to Rides I played, I think the most unique that I played personally, and I do really enjoy this one. Good pick, Isaiah. And for my number 4, Dino Genetics. So this is a Jurassic Park the board game. This, in my opinion, is the best dinosaur board game out there. I really enjoy its worker placement. I really enjoy the cards that your dinosaurs or cards that you're playing, and you have to have sets of the same type of dinosaur to be able to create that dinosaur. And so it's a set collection, hand management game with worker placement. And so you're trying to get the cards you need to be able to build the dinosaur that you need to build. And then you also have to account for their home, where the dinosaur lives. You have to use fences to pen these dinosaurs in so they don't go out and start rampaging and eating all of your guests. So it's just a lot of fun, great theme, just very enjoyable, very satisfying. You have your own player board where you're building your park. You also can buy buildings, which give you little bonuses. So highly recommended. The only caveat to this game is it's still very hard to get a hold of because you can't just buy this in the store. You can't buy it online. It's been a Kickstarter several times. I think they're moving into the third printing coming up on GameFound. So if you can get a copy on GameFound, I highly recommend it, or get a used copy somewhere. But it's just amazing. If you like this theme, I think you should buy it. So highly recommend it. My number 4.
My number 3 is Castle Panic. I like this cooperative tower defense game because there's expansions, and there's one called Crowns and Crest, and it comes with extra quests. So I like this version, the old version, but this is the new version of Castle Panic. And the heroes with special abilities. They also have other expansions like Wizard's Quest and Dark Titans. What do you mean Wizard's Tower? And the one we have is Crowns and Quest and another one.
Yeah, and the Crowns and Quest expansion is my favorite because everyone gets a special ability. It's unique to them, and you're defending one of your towers. And so, yeah.
I highly recommend this game for if your kids really like tower defense games. It is a 8+ game. And the other expansion was Engines of War.
Engines of War with the catapults.
And this is I like the strategy too. That's my top 3.
Nice. Good pick, Isaiah. Yeah, it's a fun cooperative game. So in reality, that is your favorite cooperative game, and then Star Wars is your second cooperative game. But you played this one a lot more, so it makes sense. But yeah, that one's fun. There's a lot of variety, and we have expansions for this game. We don't have expansions for the Star Wars game because they haven't come out with them yet. So, good choice. All right, so for my number 3, this is another big box. So this is the Rococo is the game, and this is the Deluxe Edition, Deluxify version with all the upgraded components. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful artwork by Ian O'Toole. Just beautiful. So this game is also hand management. So you have these cards that you're using for various actions, and the cards are like your workers basically. So it's kind of like a worker placement using cards, and you're playing these cards for your actions each turn, and then you're basically making dresses. You're getting all the supplies you need to make those dresses, and then you're basically either renting the dresses or selling the dresses. If you rent them, you get points. If you sell them, you get money. So it's really fun. There's an area majority is a big part of this game. So you have these different sections that you're basically renting out these dresses to that people are wearing. And when you get the most dresses in each room, you get majority bonus at the end. So it's very fun trying to figure out ways to get majority in these various rooms. And then at the very end, there's a fireworks display where, if you're at the very top, you get to move your people at the very top, and you get bonus points at the end, which you can score a whole lot of points that way. But it's just really interesting. There's cards you can add into your hand as well, and the components are just beautiful. So that is my pick with Coco for my number 3.
My number 2 is First Rat. This is a very fun racing game because I like the strategy of collecting cheese and trying to build a rocket ship. I also like that there's different ways to score points. And the board is a pretty good size. It's a racing game for sure. The artwork is really good. And if you like racing games that aren't cooperative, this is a good one.
Yeah, it's a race to get these points. You're putting your scoring cubes on these various tracks here. So it's a race to try to get the best spots because every spot you go to gets de-incentivized the more cubes are on those spots. So you want to try to be the first one to each track, and then the points go down from there. So yeah, it's a very, very fun game.
And they also have the other side where you can choose the tiles. So they have tokens it comes with, and you can choose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's first strat. My number 2.
Yeah, good choices there. This is also in my top 20 favorite games, so it's one of my favorites as well. Alright. So my number 2, I've played this one, physical copy and the digital copy frequently, Lost Ruins of Arnak. This is another worker placement game, but it also has deck building. Deck building is a big part of the game. Worker placement, not so much. You get 2 workers to take actions with every round, but then really the cards are what drive this game. The cards give you various actions. So I recommend this game if you like worker placement, if you like deck building, if you basically like this theme. This is an Indiana Jones theme, which is amazing. Also, the strategy and picking out which cards to buy every round is really fun. It's a nice puzzle. Like, you only have so many resources. Resources are hard to get. Money is hard to get, so you can't just buy everything. So you have to really be selective on the cards you choose, and just take your time with that and kind of go from there. And then it becomes a neat puzzle every time you play it, trying to figure out the best way to score points, and to try to kind of chain your actions together, because there's a lot of action chaining where you can kind of take longer to take your turn. The longer you play, you only have so many actions that you'll be able to play, but you can actually take more actions as time goes on, because you're able to do more things, and I love that. And then once everybody passes, then they are done for the round, and so people could be out of the round earlier than you. So you're just really trying to draw out the rounds for yourself and get as many actions as possible, and I love that. So great theme, also beautiful components, beautiful artwork, worker placement, and deck building. If you like that combination, highly recommend it.
My number 1 is Dice Throne. I like this battling game because it has a variety of characters from all the times it has been made. This game is it has been out for a long time. When my dad was like 30. So this game has been out for a long time. It's a fighting game. It's kind of like Yahtzee. You can roll 3 times, and you look at the thingy. You can upgrade it, but you look at your board. And if any of the dice match, and the blank ones are large straights. Like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And the small straight is, I don't know.
A small straight is 4 in a row, and a large straight is 5 in a row.
A small straight is 4 in a row, and a large straight is 5 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the tokens. This is Thor's hammer, and the dice look pretty nice too.
Yeah, beautiful components by Roxley Games. All their production is stellar. It seems like everything they make, they put a lot of time and energy into making the components the very best they could possibly be. If you like Yahtzee style games, dice rolling games, with just a little bit more, where King of Tokyo's a little bit more basic, there's a little more going on because you also have your hand of cards that you're managing, and they give you special abilities from your cards. And everyone has unique cards and unique deck, unique abilities, and they're coming out with an X-Men set this year, which we're really excited about, to add more of the Marvel characters to the game. And so, yeah, great choice. One of my favorites as well. That's up there on my list as well. All right, and for my number one, this is Western Legends by Colossal Games. So this is a sandbox Western. You are able to do lots and lots of various actions to score points. You can rustle cattle. You can mine for gold. You can basically do whatever you can think of in a Western. You can play poker. You can rob the bank. You can be an outlaw and rob the bank. You can actually do a duel with another player. Everyone has a unique character that they're playing as that are all historical. And so it's fun. Everyone has a special ability. When they get to 5 legendary points or 5 victory points, they're able to activate that ability. The components are incredible. I also have the anti-ep expansion in this box, which adds a whole nother board. I have a playmat for it. It's just a great game. It is a long playtime. Usually it's between 2.5 hours to 3 hours to play this. So that's why it doesn't hit the table as much as I'd like. But it's an amazing game. Just an experience every time. And then they have these story cards that come out throughout the game, and you read the story and some event happens, and there's ways you can score points from those. And so it's just so thematic. I mean, you feel like you are this Western legend, and you really feel like you're immersed in the game. So it's the most immersive game for me personally that I've ever played, most thematic game I've ever played, and the most fun for me that I've ever played. So that's why it's my number one. So, and that is our top 10 list. And we're going to go into our honorable mentions now. So, Isaiah, what is your honorable mention? So this would be, falls outside of our top 10, but something we want to talk about. So,
Marvel Remix. This is a fun deck card building game because I like the theme and I like the artwork. I like that it's a pretty simple game and it comes with scoring pads. It's a decent high scoring game for a card game. And the cards look pretty good. There's a villain deck and a superhero deck. And a hero deck. So you have to have a villain by the end of the game. Or you get minus. You have to actually.
and a hero or an ally.
Yeah. If you and then here's the back. You turn.
This is a real implementation of a game, so that's already come out. That was a fantasy themed game, and they re-implemented it with put a Marvel theme on it. It's very fun, very quick, and you only have 7 cards. You just have a 7-card deck, basically, or hand of 7 cards, and you're trying to build the best set of 7 cards to score the most points. Nice pick. All right, for my honorable mention, it's Coimbra. And this is a dice worker placement game where you're putting out these various dice to these various spots and taking the actions associated with those spots. It's a lot of fun. There are some cards as well that you can get that give you various points, and you have basically lots of tracks. There's 4 tracks that you're going up on, and they give you victory points and various other benefits. And then there's also a little section here where you're moving around to get more benefits. So it's kind of a point salad game, and there's this is a little row down here where you can score points, these achievements at the bottom. Just a lot of fun, a lot of ways to score points, and you're using dice to do that, and you're basically drafting these dice and choosing them. The fun thing about this, Isaiah, is high dice are always better than low dice, but when you get a high dice, you have to pay for it. So if you get a 6, you got to pay 6 money for that die. So you want the high dice, but if you can't afford the high dice, then you won't take it. So it's very interesting. So you're managing your money and all this stuff. So it's really a fun game by one of my favorite designers, Virginio Gigli. And so just a great game. I haven't played this in a little while. I need to get this to the table again. I want to play this now because it's such a fun game. So anyway, that's my honorable mention. So great. So that is our top 10 favorite board games list. Thank you, Isaiah, for sharing yours. It was a lot of fun. And we will...
Just to let you know, all of our videos, I will be in it.
Yes, and so this is the channel where Isaiah will be in all the videos, and that's hence the name Pop and Tot. So hopefully we'll maybe bridge that gap between regular serious gamers and family gamers, where we kind of cover both family games as well as the heavier games and kind of cover both. So kind of get it from both sides. All right, well, this has been fun coming up with these lists and talking about them, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.